Hello students, welcome to Power Tutorials. So from today onwards we are going to start previous year questions of science starting from 31/1/1 which is our first set of 2025 board exam paper. Okay, so in this video we are going to cover section A, which is MCQs and 4 resistant reason questions from 2025 board exam, which is 31/1/1 set. So let's start one by one. So in the further videos you'll find other sections, section B, C and D as well. Okay, so let's start with first question. Electrolysis of water is a decomposition reaction. The mass ratios of hydrogen and oxygen gases liberated at the electrodes during electrolysis of water is. So for this question, so I will give the equation for electrolysis as well. So electrolysis happens in this way. 2H2O, that is water molecule, decomposes to 2H2 plus O2. Okay, so but what they are asking here, the mass ratio of MH and MO, hydrogen and oxygen gases liberated at the electrodes during electrolysis. So what about hydrogen here? 2 hydrogen molecules, so it should be 2, and oxygen is 16, 8 to 16. Okay, so this should be 1:8, which is D. Okay, they are not asking how many molecules are formed, they are simply asking the mass ratio of hydrogen and oxygen. Okay, let's move to the next one. So what are the products found when aluminium and magnesium bond in melts of air? So aluminium, if reacted with oxygen, it will form Al2O3 as per the valency. So let's balance it. Oxygen 2, 3. So I'll keep 3 here and 2 here. So aluminium become 4. So I'll keep 4 here. Okay, what about second? Magnesium, Mg plus O2. It forms MgO because magnesium valency is 2. Okay. So simply let's balance this. O2 here, 2O2 and 2 Mg. So aluminum valence is 3 whereas oxygen valence is 2. So that's why aluminum 3 will go to here and oxygen minus 2 will go to here. So the answer Al2O3 plus MgO, which is B. Let's move to the third question. The following pH scales will pH values of ABCDs. Okay, so pH scale, if you remember, 7 is neutral, this is strong acid and this is strong base. Okay, so let's see what the first one. A is 5. 5, if you notice, this all are acidic. Till here are acidic, and 6 is closer to 7. Sorry, 5 and 6 both are closer to 7. So this is weak acid. So A is weak acid. So this is wrong. Second, B is neutral. Yes, all are B is neutral. Third, C is strong base because it is closer to 14. Okay, this is also wrong. What about D? D is here, which is strong acid. Okay, so D is the right answer. So if it is somewhere here, then it belongs to base. If it is here, then it belongs to acid, and this is called weak strong acid. Why? Because it is closer. 1, 2, 3 are strong acids. 4, 5, 6 are weak acids. Okay. On to the fourth one. Dilute hydrochloric acid reacts with sodium hydroxide. So this is reaction of acid plus base. So what happens when acid and base is reacted? It forms salt and water. So here it is NaCl plus water. So this is salt and water. In each case they simply mentioned, so definitely everything should be same, which is salt and water. Okay. Magnesium oxide. Magnesium oxide is basic in nature. Dilute hydrochloric is again acidic in nature. Base and acid, salt and water. Carbon dioxide is acid in nature, whereas sodium hydroxide is base in nature. So acid and base, again it is salt and water. Okay, so always remember, when an acid and salt are reacted, it forms salt and water. Let's see the fifth one. The reaction between two elements A and B forms a compound C. A loses electron and B gains electron. If one is losing electron and other is gaining electron, hence we can simply say C is an ionic compound. So ionic compounds are formed when there is an exchange of ions. Okay, so what they're asking the properties of ionic bonds. So simply ionic bonds has high melting, high boiling point, strong forces of attraction, soluble in water. Let's see the options and eliminate the not they have clearly mentioned. High melting point, this is true. High soluble in water is true. Weak electrostatic status, this is false, but they're asking not, so C is the right answer. Conduct saltus in molten, this is also true. Okay, they can ask you properties of ionic bonds for 2 marks question also. So if they ask for tell me the properties of ionic compounds, then you have to say that high melting and high boiling point, strong forces of attraction, it is a soluble in water, and also in molten state they conduct electricity. Okay, let's see the 6th one. The metals obtained from the molten chlorides by the process of electrolytic reduction are gold and silver are least reactive, so directly get into the pure forms, so no electrolysis for these two. Calcium and magnesium, yes, we require electrolysis process to eliminate to get these metals because these are highly reactive. Aluminium and silver is low reactive, so this is wrong. Sodium and iron is also not low reactive but is mid reactive. We perform roasting or calcination kind of a process. Sodium is high reactive, we perform electrolysis, but the combination is wrong. So the only option is calcium and magnesium. For these two we use electrolysis process. Okay, so in electrolysis, anode and cathode will be there, like pure metal and impure metal. So during in the electrolysis also we have a solvent. So what will happen? The impure metal will be kept down. I mean the impurities present on that electrode will come down and stored as an electron mud in the solvent, whereas the pure only will be stored. Okay. Let's see the 7th one. Magnesium and oxygen. Magnesium 2 valency correct. Oxygen this is 8. So these two will go to here. So magnesium is 2 plus, oxygen 2 minus. A is the right answer. Let's see why wrong for other options. B, magnesium it is showing only 1. So this is wrong. Magnesium will have 2 valencies. This is correct. Oxygen, each oxygen will have 2 breaks. I mean 2 valencies. But here we have only one output. So here also only one. So why? Because I told you magnesium and oxygen. Magnesium valency is 2 and oxygen valency is also 2. Okay, why valence of oxygen is 2? Because it requires 2 electrons, whereas magnesium has excess of 2 electrons. Okay, so these two will have an ionic bond because magnesium will share its 2 electrons to the oxygen. Since the molecular formula of magnesium oxide is MgO. Let's go to that one. Secretion of less saliva in the mouth will affect in the conversion of starch into simple sugars because saliva contains an enzyme called salivary amylase. So this enzyme helps to convert starch to sugars. So if this there is a less secretion of saliva, then this conversion will go down. Okay, let's see the 9th one. The plant hormone whose concentration stimulates the cells to grow longer on the side of shoot which is away from light is, the answer is auxins. Okay, because auxins are the one which helps to get more weight away from light. So due to this what will happen? There will be a bend towards the light. Okay, what about cytokinase? Cytokinase will help for the cell division. Gibberellins will help for the growth, like stem part. It helps here. Cytokinase will help for cell division. What about adrenaline? Adrenaline is for animals, not in plants. And this helps to react as per situation. Okay. Next move to the 10th one. Choose the true statement for bisexual flowers. They possess both stamen and pistil. True. They possess either. Wrong, because they will have both. Okay. They exhibit self-pollination, cross-pollination. Yes, correct. They cannot produce fruits and flowers on their own. False. They can produce because they has both. So the only option is 1 and 3, which is C. Okay. Next move to the 11th one. If P plants with round and green RRYY and cross with P plants with wrinkled and yellow, the seed develops for the first generation. Okay, so for first generation, RR means I'll keep capital R and small y is combined with small r and capital Y. So this combination will give me R, R, Y, Y. So the first generation will have all capital R's and all small y, capital Y's. Okay, what is capital R? Capital R is round, small capital Y is yellow. So round and yellow I will get 100%. Okay, let's move to the next one. The breakdown of glucose has taken place in the following way. Okay, glucose to pyruvate. This happens in cytoplasm. Energy is converted to lactic acid. Lactic acid energy happens at muscles. And this is anaerobic respiration. In anaerobic respiration, muscles is these two, mitochondria and cytoplasm, it should be cytoplasm. Mitochondria is responsible for aerobic respiration. This is also called as powerhouses of cell. So in mitochondria, aerobic respiration happens, but here we are talking about anaerobic respiration, which is lactic acid and energy. Okay, we have one more anaerobic respiration where you have ethanol, carbon dioxide and energy that happens in yeast. Okay, let's move to the 13th one. Mirror X is used to concentrate sunlight in solar furnace, and mirror Y is fitted on the side of vehicle to see the traffic behind the driver. So what is mirror X here? Mirror X is nothing but concave mirror. And what is application here? It is happening, it is opening for solar furnace. So what will happen? They will keep the solar furnace such that all the light rays from sun will fall on the mirror and they'll get reflected and get diverted into focus. Okay, so here the image formed is real diminished and it is as focus, correct? What about the vehicles? We have a mirror. So what will happen? These mirrors are convex mirrors. So why convex mirror are used? So that the larger distance objects can be reduced the size and it will be virtual here. Okay, it is virtual, erect, and size is again diminished here. So it should be not at focus, virtual, diminish and erect. Yes, 1 and 2 are correct, which is 1 and 2. Okay, let's move to the next one. These are the applications for concave mirror and convex mirror. Concave mirrors application not only solar furnace, it is also used for headlights of the automobiles, where at focus the light will be kept, and due to this light what will happen? It will get reflected in the mirror and it will go to infinite. Just opposite. Here it is from infinite, it is coming to focus, and here from focus it is going to infinite. Okay, for convex mirrors are used in side mirrors and even in parking lamps, so that it covers maximum area and it will get an erected image on the mirror. Okay, let's move to the 14th. An old person is suffering from eye defect causing a weakening of ciliary muscles and diminishing flexibility of eye lens. If the defect of vision is corrected by lens B, then A and B are. For old persons, if they have both the situations, then it should be presbyopia and bifocal lens are required. So which is a combination of both convex and concave. So if you have older persons in your home and if you observe the spectacles, what will happen is they'll have something glasses like this and they'll have a small portions here. So this part is convex part and this part is concave part. So they have both convex and concave, hence it is called as bifocal lens. Okay, so this is used for reading closer distance like books, and this is used to see the larger distances. Okay, for teenagers they will use concave mirrors for negative power. For mid-level people, I can say like 30 to 50, they prefer convex lens having positive focal length or positive power. Okay, whereas for older people it is for bifocal lens because they have the difficulty to see the closer objects as well as the farther objects. Okay, let's go to the 15th one. Which of the following groups does not constitute a food chain? Let's see here: wolf, rabbit, grass, lion. Rabbit, grass is fine, but wolf and lion does not belong to the same chain. Okay, so this is wrong. Plankton, fish is fine, fish to grasshopper is fine, grasshopper to man. Okay, this is fine. Let's see. Hawk, grass, snake, grasshopper, frog. Okay, this is also fine. What about grass, snake, wolf and tiger? I told you wolf and tiger and wolf and lion does not belong to the same chain, so this is wrong. Does not constitute food chain, so it should be 1 and 4. This. If they constitute a food chain, then 2 and 3 are correct. Here they mentioned do not constitute, so it should be 1 and 4. Okay, because wolf and lion and wolf and tiger does not belong to the same chain. Next, 16th one. The percentage solar energy which is not converted into food energy by the leaves by the plant in a terrestrial ecosystem is about 99%. So this question is little confusion with respect to the energy conversion. Energy conversion is different for each tropic level. If you go to the high, what will happen? Only 10% will be utilized and 90% will be lost. But for here, they are not asking about energy with respect to trophic levels. They are asking with respect to the energy captured by the plants to produce energy. So here the sunlight, only 1% energy is utilized and 99% is getting wasted. Okay, let's move to the 17th. Decomposition reactions are generally endothermic reactions. That's correct. Decomposition reaction of organic matter is exothermic reaction. This is also true, but both are not related to each other. Hence the option should be B, where assertion and reason are true, but the reason is not the correct explanation for here. For decomposition reaction, you can give an example of calcium carbonate. In the presence of heat, it forms calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. Okay, and here it's for organic matter. If you keep it allow it to decompose, what will happen? They will form into ethanol and energy is getting released here. Okay, next move to the 18th question. A human child bears all basic features of human beings. As this is true, it looks exactly like parents. It is false, because in sexual reproduction there will not be exact representation of parents. There will be similar features but not 100%. So A is true, R is false. The answer is C. Next, 19th. No two magnetic fields are found crossed to each other. True. The compass needle cannot point towards two directions at the point of interactions of two intersections. Hence, it is true. This is a correct explanation. So, if you observe the magnetic compass, it is north to south. The magnetic lines of force always travel from north to south, and inside the point we can see it flows from south to north. But in any point, it will not. Both lines will not intersect. Why? Because if you keep the compass at any point, it will point only to one direction. It cannot have two directions at the same point. So hence they cannot intersect each other. Okay. Let's see the last question for today. The amount of ozone in the atmosphere began to drop sharply from 1980s. This is true. The oxygen atom combines with molecular oxygen to form ozone. This is also true. Is it related to each other? No. Hence again the answer is B, where A and R are true but not the correct explanation. So this example equation I will write it here. O plus O2 gives rise to O3, which is ozone. Okay, oxygen atom is O, oxygen molecule is O2, O plus O2 gives rise to O3. So in this way all the section A questions are been solved, and mostly tomorrow we'll have another video. There I will cover section B questions of 2025 board exam, and the set is 31/1/1. Okay, so thanks for watching, and if you like this video, please do like, and if you have any doubts, do comment and share with your respective friends who are also studying 10th class. Thank you.